Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Art Stories podcast, where we dive into the journeys, passions, and creative paths of the incredible artists in our community. Today, I'm honored to be speaking with Daniel Taylor, an internationally recognized artist whose work brings endangered species and human stories to life with breathtaking realism. Daniel is celebrated around the world for his paintings of critically endangered wildlife, and he is also the host and presenter of the long-running international TV series When Paintings Come Alive. His career blends conservation, storytelling, and media in a truly unique way. And today we get to explore the heart behind it all. Daniel, welcome to the podcast.
Nice to meet you, Sky. Thank you. That was a nice introduction. Thank you.
Yes, good. Well, thank you. Congratulations on everything. Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you.
I wanted to bring us back to the beginning and your
Mhm.
personal journey and how your life started with art. Can you describe the moment, or you could share the whole story, that you realized art was going to be your life's work?
Uh, yeah, well, you're going way, way back.
If
Actually, I was a little artist. When I was a little guy, probably about 4 or 5 years old. Of course, like all kids, we all like art. We like to draw and things of that sort. But I used to like laying down in front of my mom's little oil stove in her kitchen there on a little blanket, and of course draw on that. But I didn't realize that I was going beyond what most 4-year-olds were doing, and I was drawing a picture of King Tut, sketching a picture of King Tut, and from the National Geographic magazine. I was 4 years old again, and so word got out, and that very day that I was doing that, a breeze comes rushing across the floor when I was laying on the floor, and in comes all these photographers and people writing these things about this little guy laying down on the floor drawing this picture. And it wasn't until later on I found out that they're there because they thought, well, what is this little 4-year-old doing this? So they figured, well, I was a prodigy, creating this work of art, being able to do that at such an age. So yeah.
That's incredible. And then how did it evolve from there?
Oh, yeah, well, you can't help it. It's in me. You're born basically as an artist in that. So yeah, I could never stop. In fact, even in school, elementary school, I had a hard time. Grade one came up. I couldn't keep my mind on the studies at all. All I could do was draw, and so they held me back actually a year because I just couldn't keep my mind on the studies. So I had a hard time repeating it again. In those days, I repeated the grade. Had a hard time, but I passed. Everything was great, but still the pull. And I guess it is a pun intended. The draw was there. So yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
that's funny. I the other day was just thinking how in high school I took advanced placement art in grade 12. So I
Okay,
thought it would help me get into university because if it was advanced placement, it would count towards my GPA as the regular art didn't.
right.
And at the time, I was thinking, oh, so I could go into psychology or something else, more academic. And then later on, it's like, oh, well, these have been my gifts all along. I just didn't quite realize it then. This was where the strengths are, and it's true. You really are born an artist. And
Isn't it funny how that is? How yeah, it carries over in your life. You like it or not. Well, you do like it. But
yeah,
yeah, yeah, it encourages you that way. It steers you that way. Yeah, good for you.
thank you. Well, it made me think of that. How did your early environment or influences or family shape your passion for wildlife and portraiture?
Well, I started out drawing portraits of people. Again, it goes way back to when I was drawing that mask of King Tut. So I enjoyed drawing, sketching family members, neighbors, kids, and that sort of thing while growing up. And I did quite well at that. I enjoyed it. And then, of course, loving animals and having pets and that sort of thing too. Uh, I started to draw them and got carried away. So it's very common, but I wanted to go beyond. I wanted to carry on doing scenery, landscape, seascape, and that sort of thing. And living in Vancouver, I was able to draw the ocean and all the areas up and around those places, and yeah, just carried on and so I'm able to do them all now.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
so your work is known for its lifelike presence. How do you approach capturing life and emotion in your subjects?
How do I like to capture emotion?
Yeah, how do you capture the life besides just the visual, but the whole almost spirit behind it?
Well, if I'm doing, let's say, an animal, I try to catch the emotion within the eyes. Um, Definitely in the eyes of people as well. So, so it's not just so much the formation of the person or the animal and how they're reacting to something. It can be an action scene of an animal. It still comes back to the eyes, and as it is in everything else in real life too. That the emotions are always there, so that forms itself quite well, and it comes out in your creation. So when you're doing something like that, um, I don't know. You can't miss it. It's just something that will show hopefully to the viewer when they check it out, when they look at it.
What's your preferred medium?
Started out again sketching, then went into oil paint. I did that for a long, long time,
Hmm.
and then I found out about this paint. They called it acrylic paint. This is way back in the '60s. So I tried this, and I loved it because it could dry very fast, and there's a reason behind that. And oil paint, of course, I could do what I really wanted to get done. So yeah, and I'll explain that. Yeah,
And what draws you most specifically to endangered species?
endangered. Well, in this case, it's critically endangered species.
Mm.
So there's too many animals out there, unfortunately, that are critically endangered. But I got in touch with. I always wanted to paint a picture of a gorilla. So I got in touch with this foundation called the African Conservation Foundation, and I was talking to the fellow there, Ren de Haas, and he says, "Look," he says, "could you paint a picture of an elephant? I'm a high realist painter. Could you paint a picture of an elephant, and then we'll consider about doing this gorilla because there's a reason behind that." And I said, "Okay," because it takes about a year to create one painting every day. So I got to creating, yeah, so I got to creating that elephant, and it worked out quite well. I was quite pleased with it, and they used it for educational uses, and of course, raising funds and that for the preservation of the elephant and various needs. And so, yeah, and then I got into creating the gorilla, which is really well known, and again, high realist, and that took about a year. And then I went from that to other animals, leopard, cheetahs, and just thoroughly enjoy doing that. So yeah, getting involved with the African wildlife has been more of a draw than, again, no pun intended this time, a draw to to do these animals and North American animals, of course, the grizzly, and I just thoroughly enjoy the idea of painting animals, and I got totally enthralled with it.
Wow, that's incredible. What stuck out most for me is that each piece takes a year. How do you stay focused, or is it easy? Are you in the flow for the year? What are your challenges? What does that journey look like?
The thing is, Sky, I don't have a studio anymore. I don't have an art studio anymore. So I take my paints, I take my canvas or my
Yes.
illustration board, and wherever I go, I'll bring it with me and I'll work on the painting there. Yeah, I could be camping, I could be on
Wow.
vacation someplace, at home. It doesn't matter. I'll just work on the painting virtually every day. And as you know, art can take over and you'll have a full day gone. You won't even know it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so I did that sort of thing, and I still do. And occasionally I'll throw in other sorts of work, more contemporary, like just to get away from the high realist for a while.
Right.
Um, so, yeah. So, again, I don't have a studio anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible focus. And a question I hear often, but how do you know it's finished? I like hearing
When it's
everyone's.
done, when it's done.
Yeah.
Uh, how do I know when it's finished? You know what? yeah, you do know what. You can still look at it years later and say, I should
Yeah.
have done, and yeah, you're never finished. Not
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
that's accurate. My mom takes, I used to paint in their studio, in her studio. I don't
Oh yeah.
live there anymore, but when I was, and so she would take the paintings out of the studio and say, "You're done," because I would keep going over and over and over. And she's like, "It's good. Move on."
That's
I'm like,
right. Yeah, yeah. It does that. Yeah, yeah.
mm-hmm,
But you know how it is too. You could do a painting and work on it literally all night, and
mm-hmm.
you think, "Wow, this is great. It looks wonderful. I think I better have a nap now." And you wake up and look at the painting. And you go, "Oh, this is horrible. What was I thinking?" But realist art, you can't make that mistake. You can't.
Right.
One mistake, you literally have, well, for the most part, have to start all over again. So I've done paintings for a year and made a bad mistake in my mind and had to literally start all over again for another year. So yeah.
What type of mistake is that that would really need make you start completely over if it's acrylic too, and could you not go over that area?
No, because it would show through. I paint in very translucent colors. It's called layering and
Mm-hmm.
very translucent. Again, this is why I like acrylics because I can do that. They dry very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can make a mistake in the color. I can make a mistake in a gesture, maybe in the face of the animal. Let's say something I don't quite like. Maybe I can fix it a bit, but I know it's there. And I tend to be a perfectionist. So, well, yeah, got no choice.
Yeah,
But, you know,
especially if you're working with type acrylic.
when you're working that close with it. So, yeah. And so, I don't know. You, you just you just try to make it the best way you possibly can without making that mistake.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me about your process of actual creation. What type of thoughts are just occurring? Just what do you notice about yourself, or how is that experience for you when you're actually with the painting, brush in hand? What's happening for you? Is it pleasant? Is it stressful? Is it everything in one? Is it calming?
Well, like anything, when you're working at something, all sorts of thoughts go through your mind, and the atmosphere you're living in, or where you're at now. That all plays into it as well. But mostly you're focused on what you're doing and you're drawn into it. And you live in that world. You
Mm,
live in the world of whatever it is you're creating, scenery, landscape, seascape. Um, One thing I noticed too when I paint a picture of, let's say, of a person or an animal, your features tend to come out in that subject that you're creating, and that's very hard to keep out of there. So let's say if I'm painting a picture of a relative, my dad or my brother or sister or something like that, that's fine because my features, I don't know why it is, tend to come out in that person. But if I was to paint a picture of you, I have to be careful that I don't know if it's genetic or that the features don't come out in another person's face. So you're fighting against that.
what an incredible awareness. I noticed that from my own experience of painting portraits, but I've never named it. I didn't understand that. But it's
Yeah,
true, sometimes I'll do my sister or my brother, and they'll start to end up looking a little bit more like me. And it's
yeah,
like, well, I don't know, maybe just because I know my face the best, obviously,
yeah,
or I'll look at my own eyes to see what the inside looks like while I'm doing somebody else's to get that closer
right.
viewpoint. Oh, that's so
It's
fascinating.
funny how that is, though. It's funny
Mhm,
how it connects itself that way. But you
mhm.
have to, if you want to do a picture that looks like that person, you have to fight against that.
Wow.
And
That
everything has its own way. If you paint say, a hand, that's an art within itself. A foot, painting the eye, it
mhm,
doesn't matter. Whatever feature, it becomes a project within itself.
mhm,
And so you're fighting against a lot of things, a lot of variables there that you don't want to come into play.
mhm.
And you want to paint the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you fight that? I know it's probably not a simple answer.
Yeah. You just I don't know. You don't beat yourself up, but I don't know. How can you say that, Sky? I don't know. I don't know. You just fight against
Intuitively.
it. You fight
Mm-hmm.
against it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you, do you notice you're drawn to a certain person when you do portraits the most? When
Do
you're
I
doing,
draw?
do you notice if you end up drawing or painting the one person more than, or is it just anyone and everyone, or
Yeah, I don't tend to draw one person in particular. I do go over the whole landscape of various people and animals and that.
hmm
So yeah, I try not to stick with one person, you know?
yes.
Yeah.
And so you've spent time with some of the world's rarest animals, like the Cross River gorilla.
Yeah.
How did that shape your understanding of the species and of conservation itself?
Well, when we were asked to go down to the Cameroon, which is where the cross river gorillas are, uh, they're very elusive, and there's
Mm-hmm.
only about 300 alive.
Wow.
So we had to live in the environment, live in the jungles, live in places where you shouldn't go.
Wow.
We had a lot of threats from poachers. Uh, you had to deal with the thought of death around the corner,
Wow.
and all this in search for the gorilla because a lot of them are surviving their families on the bushmeat. Not just gorillas, but chimpanzees and elephants, whatever else they have
Mm-hmm.
that you try to protect.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're searching out for these animals, and again, they're very elusive. So if you do find a cross river gorilla, you're very, very fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain gorilla, it's much easier compared, and so I don't know. When you live in the environment, that affects the painting. You bring it back home with you as well. So with all the snapshots that you have of the animal, the sketches, both of the animal and the environment, all come into play. So when you're creating something, all this comes into mind. All of it just flows. You have it come into your heart. I guess that's where it is, more than just in thought. And so you try to paint that emotion, not the animal's emotion, your emotion. And so yeah, so to paint an animal or a person or that sort, you want to make sure that it's them and not you. And again, your emotion will come in.
That's an art in itself, conveying that.
Yeah, you don't really think about it though. It's part of your life. It's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been painting for an awful long time. 60 some odd years is a long time.
Yeah, it's
So
long.
yeah, but it hasn't always been in the wildlife, and it hasn't always been for personal use or for other people. And that I also worked in the movie sets for a number of years,
Mm.
and so yeah, I had fun doing that.
Yes, tell us about when paintings come alive, how that started, and what was the spark that led you to host it?
Oh, that was the spark itself when I worked on the sets.
Oh, okay.
That's a good question. Yeah. Well, what it was when I did work on the sets, I did all the artwork and that. Actually the very last one I showed you a long time ago was Legends of the Fall with
Mm.
Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
So I did some artwork in that, but did a lot of TV series and other movies, and I had a great time. But it was not fulfilling.
Mm.
Um, it was good for a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. So I thought, wonder if I could create something. Maybe one day I could come up with an idea, and one day didn't come for a good 12 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with this idea, not Bob Ross. I did not want to copy that joy painting fellow, not at all. Not that he wasn't good or anything of that sort. Wanted to be different. Everyone copies everyone. So I'll
Yes.
come up with this unique concept where
Mm-hmm.
paintings come alive, where you actually follow a subject and then you create a picture of that subject.
Mm.
And it could be anything, whether it's space or a person or celebrity, an animal. I don't know. The sky's not the limit. It just goes on and on and on.
Yes.
And then you have music, and we have um, various musicians that will come on the show,
Mm.
and the platforms then too is basically like soapbox. and it
Okay.
allows them to show their talent. So we place that within the show.
Lots of artists working together. That's beautiful.
Well, that's great. You have fun doing that. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
How has working in television changed the way you think about storytelling in your paintings?
Well, what I do on television is contemporary work, of course. I'm not going to spend a year painting one picture for you, but it's I don't know if it changes the storytelling so much as well. To put it simply, I grew up during a time of the 50s and 60s and 70s and that, so I try to place that era or those eras, those decades within that show, so you have that simple atmosphere. So there's no computer graphics in there at all. And I don't keep up with the times when it comes to that show. We try to keep it very simple, organic, and it plays out quite popular. People enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it. It was very engaging.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was a nice, it's fascinating. We have so many different components that seem to all tie together perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we try to do. Um, I got a. You just brought to mind too. When I was a little fellow, and I don't know, it was sort of like a little party. About probably about 5 years old. Now there was a show in Vancouver
Hmm.
called Uncle Bobby.
Hmm.
Now they had the party at the house. I forget what kind of party, birthday party, whatever it was. And we all went down to the studio to see Uncle Bobby, and we're put on the stage. We didn't understand. We were just kids on the stage. And I was watching all the things that were going on and the cameras and how they were doing this and that. And here I am, a little guy, but my imagination was going. And I tend to have an overactive imagination. To this day, I guess I'm just as bad. So watching that kind of sparked that feeling for putting two and two together of camera, not acting, camera and the creative side. Yeah,
Yeah,
that goes
showing.
way back, Sky.
It sounds like you've just been building on top of each thing and it's all making a beautiful cake.
Oh, it is. Well, you're in the UK there. What do you call it? The Shard building there?
Hmm.
The glasswork, the new glasswork that they put on there,
Yes.
they dedicated to that way, my way of painting the art, of layering.
Oh, wow.
So, which was kind of cool. We got a
Yeah.
notice in our mails stating that we were one of the five that was chosen as people that were an inspiration toward what they did there. So that was
That's
kind of cool.
incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you. So when you go up in the Shard there, if you go to a little restaurant and that, pretend
I,
I'm there, okay? I haven't been there yet.
yes,
So
yes, I will. I'll take some photos and send it to you.
yeah.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Tell me a little bit about layering. What does that mean if you're, say, weren't an artist? Explain it in the simplest form.
Well, the simplest form is putting one color upon another, or or if I'm painting fur, is putting one stretch of fur on top of another.
Hmm.
So you're creating all these layers. So you have fur upon fur, color upon color. And what happens is over a period of time or years later, it's like a bottle of wine, it matures and it looks very different than when you first saw it. And over the many years, it matures into something totally different in color, texture, even though there is no thickness to it, it just gives that impression. So
Even after you've finished painting it and say 5 years later, it still evolves.
it still tends to, yeah. I've got a picture behind me of the mountain gorilla, and
Wow.
that one there, I did that a long, long time ago, and it's incredible how it changed. We had prints done. I'm sort of wishing I never did at that time because it's changed that much in the color and just the look of it.
Amazing. How did you get into layering?
Uh, I'm very patient. You
Very
can,
quickly.
yeah. So if you're very patient, you're going to do something like that, and you like to compete against yourself too.
Mm.
And I've said this many times. I used to mountain climb, So it's
Oh,
kind
wow.
of like mountain climbing without the ropes. You do it by freehand, and you can't make a mistake, or otherwise you're gone. You don't want that. So, but I like that. I like to compete against myself because I know art so well, and it's nice to be able to do something out of the ordinary for myself,
Yes, yeah,
even though
absolutely.
other people don't understand that. So,
Well, that's another level of patience that perhaps some people might not ever. Even me, I think a year. I'm always so excited to try something new. I've got 7 or 10 on the go at once. They might all take a year, but I'm still working on.
which is awesome. That's good because I like that too. I do that occasionally. I'll have paintings on the side, again, contemporary work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have fun with them, and I'll do that sort of thing. It'll take about a year to do all the paintings, just like yourself, and make it happen. But to do a particular painting and to focus on it, it becomes your baby, and that's it. You know that's the main one. That's the your favorite of all the kids. And I got a lot of kids.
Do you?
Yeah,
How has that impacted your artwork by any means?
you mean literal kids? Yeah, somewhat. Raising kids, they're all growing now. We've got
Mhm.
7 kids,
Wow.
and grandkids and great grandkids and all that stuff. So it's nice to be able to create paintings even about them. I just did one of my great granddaughter,
Oh,
which was
amazing.
great. It was awesome, you know. And so she understands now. There's a picture of
Hmm.
her. She was chasing bubbles,
Oh,
and she
precious.
looked up there at the painting of herself. She's, oh, that's me. That's me. You know,
Oh, she'll cherish that
she
forever.
understood it. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Is there a particular reaction or story from someone uh, perceiving your work that stayed with you?
Particular reaction.
Or a
Um,
moment?
yeah, well, there's been people that have looked at it and commented on various looks within the painting, whether they liked it or not, which is fine. I like people to let me know. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a portrait, a full portrait of a person, they'll say
Mm-hmm.
that finger is too long,
Mm-hmm.
or and of course I criticism you don't like. At the same
Mm-hmm.
time, usually it's true, and so you make a correction and that sort of thing. But that's how you learn,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all part of the fun of it. And I enjoy people letting me know how they feel about these things and how it affects their life. And other people saying, well, it's because of you I was inspired to start painting. And not just the show, but the painting itself. Yeah. So,
Is if you could go back to your younger self as an artist, or perhaps other young artists, what would you say?
if I could go back to myself as a young artist or as another
Yeah.
young artist,
Or if there's advice that you'd say to yourself.
mm, I don't know. I was going to say don't do it.
Yes.
It's a very compelling
Mm,
career. It's a very tough career if you want to make sales and that sort of thing.
mm-hmm.
Very involving, very dedicated to
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing a painting or paintings and that. But I don't know. You have to make sure it's in your heart. If it's in your heart, you don't
Mm-hmm.
try not to let it take over your life. Encourage other ones along the way,
Mm-hmm.
and don't be too critical of yourself. Don't be too critical of others, and show a love and respect for what you do and for
Mm-hmm.
others.
That's beautiful. What have been some of the most challenging periods in your career?
Making a living from it is it is a tough go. No matter how many, yeah, no matter how many years you've done it or how long, it's not easy. There's highs and lows to it. Uh, but the challenging part is to try to compete against yourself if that's what you want to do. And art itself is, of course, creative and it never stops. It's forever growing, forever evolving, and that's what you want. You don't want it to stop. You don't want to stop growing. And when I look back at paintings of the past, I go, oh, they're terrible. Or I'll say, oh, that's great. I wish I could do that again. So it's not always bad, and you're not really a defeatist. You're just examining works and examining yourself and learning. And I'm not a mechanic, not an electrician. I'm not a computer person, um, and that sort of thing. And I've never gotten into that because, again, I've always been pulled toward the arts. And my children, some of my kids are really good artists, and that, but they're not artists per se. They're into other things. But yeah, yeah.
Would you say you ever had a choice, or it was almost inevitable?
It was inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the same pull, whether you like it or not. And even if you do work at something else and you're doing this and that, you've got it on your mind, or you're looking at something. I remember working on a house, and I was working out in the field area. And as I'm banging away and working at this and that, I'm looking out over a field, and I start thinking, oh, that would be a great idea for a painting. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. I'm not focusing on what I should be doing. It goes on and on and on. And one of my
Yes.
inspirations a long time ago, not sure if I pronounced his last name right, but Andrew Wyeth, or Wyeth, Andrew Wyeth. I remember seeing a picture of his sister. I found it later on, Christina's World, and she's laying in a field of grass. And there's a house way in the distance, buildings in the distance, and a realist painting. And I thought, wow, how does a person ever do that? How do they create something like that? It really struck a chord, emotionally and mentally, and it was just unique. And of course, I found out later on he was a high realist painter, and that's what I enjoyed doing. That's why I had that question. And also, there's a painting we had on the wall in my house when I was a little guy growing up of flowers, and it was an airbrush painting. I didn't know that either, and it looked very very real. And again, how do they do that? So I was never questioning a contemporary piece of work. It was always the realist side of work.
It's a
And
beautiful
then I
insight.
found out later on, years later, about this fellow from Canada, Bateman, Robert Bateman,
Mm-hmm.
and his wildlife art. And I thought at that time when I was beginning, I thought, wow, that looks very real, and I appreciated his work to this day. And so all these came into play. Inspiration, of course, the Renaissance, the days of the Renaissance paintings. Then, yeah.
Had you tried other artwork or other subjects, or from the beginning, could you feel a strong pull towards? I know you said when you were for portraits, but was there a time when you were just trying to find your space?
My niche.
Hmm.
Yeah. I again, I thought I found it when I was sketching people. Um, I thought I found it when I did animals, seascapes, landscapes, and that sort of thing. I ended up doing the whole variety of them. They all tend to pull me toward them, all of them, and which is great because it's a good diversion away from what I might presently be doing. And so, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing in particular that really takes me over the top. I enjoy them all equally. Equally, yeah. I'm too old to change.
Yeah. Okay, you've got a nice balance. That's great. Have you ever done any formal education for art, or self-taught the whole way?
Self-taught,
Hmm.
and when I tried to do the formal educational part, even though it meant credits and that sort of thing, I walked out on them. I couldn't do it. I felt like I was going back in time. I felt actually hurt by what I was hearing, what I was learning, and I didn't want to hurt them too by my comments. And so I said, no, I'm not going to do this. In high school, in the art class, um, it wasn't nice of me. I didn't show up to art class. The teacher knew me and that knew my artwork. I didn't show up, and he passed me with A, A plus. And I said, why did you do that? He says, because I know you're accomplished. You can do it already. You don't just go to the gym. Go have fun. Whatever. You don't
Yeah.
need to come. But yeah, but when it's in you, it's in you. Yeah. So you
Avoiding.
involved in that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was younger, because I grew up in a household of artists, there was a period when it was like, I'm not an artist. And my mom, my whole life was like, okay, whenever you're ready, but you are. And
Yeah.
then finally it was like, okay, I think I want to take this seriously now. And she goes, finally, you kept saying you weren't an artist. It's like, you were since birth. You've just finger painting since day one. And
There you are. Yeah.
Mhm.
See, we're the same birds of the same feather, right? So we understand that.
Yes.
My kids, I never encouraged them to do art. I not once did I say, "Well, you're doing great to become an artist." I would say,
Hmm.
"Well, your work looks wonderful."
Mm.
If they asked me if they need to correct something, I would let them know, but I wouldn't do it otherwise.
Hmm.
And so they encourage. It's sort of like my friends in the movie business, and that they wouldn't encourage their family or their kids to act in shows,
Hmm.
and just let them decide for themselves what they want to do.
Hmm.
That's what I did, and I'm glad
Hmm.
I did.
Yeah, sounds like
Yeah,
a great, smart way.
yeah.
I had, um, what have been, well, two questions.
Okay.
Were there some other career choices that you tried throughout your journey?
We're sorry. We keep going back to the movies. That was my career choice. Was I tried
Right.
that because I,
Yes.
I enjoy the creative process of whatever it might be, cameras or
Mm.
behind the scenes, that sort of thing. But acting, not really. I guess I kind of do that in the show, don't I? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
yeah. But it's never been my pull to act in that. I remember working on a set. I'd be working off the side too on construction too,
mm-hmm.
and not sleeping for a day or two, not eating for a day or two, and you love it so much you don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And for a guy, you look pretty rough, unshaven and that.
Mm.
And the director would come over and say, we want you to be a bum, a street person down on the street of Vancouver, panhandling." So they take a camera way over on the other side of the street and
Oh,
film me panhandling
yeah. Oh,
or
that's
taken
great.
off to jail or something. But that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as finding another profession or career in that, there's nothing that really took my interest. Not
Mm-hmm.
really.
Seems like you've had clarity from a very young age.
I have no choice.
Yes, that too.
Sky. It really is a dedication, but it's also from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's from the heart, what can you do? You
Mm-hmm.
can't change your heart on something like that.
Yeah.
You know that. Your mom knows that.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
she still
learning that
painting?
more.
How
Oh,
is she
yes.
with that?
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But she does a little bit of everything. Her portraits are incredible. So not
Right.
hyper realism, but very picture-like.
Right.
And lots of same flowers, the BC, Vancouver coast.
Right.
She's, yeah, my greatest teacher and most inspiring. We'll sort of work off of each other. And she
Okay.
once suggested I use a palette knife. I was doing a contemporary style tiger, you're working with oil for the fur.
Okay.
And then, so then once I was using it, she goes, "Oh, I like that." And then she started using it. So we very
Well,
much,
then
hmm.
you inspire each other. That's good.
Yes, yeah, it's a
That
neat.
must be nice for her because you were just a baby and learning about this, and then here you are, painting with your mom.
Thank
That's
you.
that's
Yes,
really nice, really nice.
it's been a great way to spend
What a
time together.
quite a journey.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I like that.
Thank
I
you.
don't know if you've seen the show. We got some shows on YouTube,
Yes.
and it's not meant to promote it. I don't promote it at all. So what you see for hits, I'm surprised any hits. It's only used for business.
Yes.
But there is one called The Edge of the World,
Mm.
and instead of a palette knife, I use a tongue depressor. I don't know if you saw that.
I'm not sure what it was.
If you can, go to YouTube
I will.
and look up Edge of the World, and you get a kick out of it if you like that sort of thing. And you can create using anything, including a tongue depressor.
Wow,
Yeah,
interesting. Well, that's how it is in our
I
house
think your mom
too.
would like that.
There's
Yeah.
everything and anything. One time she did a portrait, but mixed media, so
Yeah.
beads and electrical cords for hair, and glued it all on, put resin over, and then
Wow.
she put it up for all of us to see, and my dad goes, "That's where that electrical cord went. It was a splitter." And she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
so it's art now."
Well, she's creative, right? You take her, you can. Yeah. Sorry about that, but I got to take it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good for her. Good for you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. What
Very good.
piece are you working on, or do you have any exciting projects coming up
Well, right
now?
now, well, I just finished doing an episode for When Paintings Come Alive. It's called Mountain Man,
Mm.
contemporary piece, but it's made to look very old, yeah, back in the day. I really enjoyed doing that. It took a long time, and we were going to have an actor. This actor did one of the episodes called Mighty Fraser River, and he acted as a gold prospector in the Fraser River.
Wow.
And so we did that. That was awesome. A big burly guy, tough
Yeah.
guy from the States. And he was
Mm-hmm.
going to do the Mountain Man, but something came up, illness. He couldn't do it,
Mm-hmm.
and he's beating himself up about it. He wanted to do so bad. So we created the show with an imaginary mountain man. So we
Mm.
follow him through the woods and whatnot to a rendezvous.
Wow.
And so in between there, I'm painting the picture of the mountain man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the music that we have in there, instead of having various musicians in the show, which we love doing, we thought, well, let's do this a little bit different. So we have a young couple, one plays the banjo, one plays the guitar. They're quite
Mm-hmm.
well known through the Okanagan and that. Josh and Bex.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked, well, could you guys play music throughout the whole show? Would that interest you? So they're
Mm-hmm.
doing that right now. They're creating music specifically for that episode.
Wow.
And we can't wait to hear it to go with the episode.
Wow. Do you script the episodes as well?
Yep,
Wow. So you
yep.
really have a creative outlet path for each of them and bringing it all together.
Yeah, I try to. I don't know how good it is, but I try. I try to. It's fun,
I mean,
you
it's
know.
been 17 years, I believe I read. Yeah, so I would say
I
it's
didn't.
going well.
Well, Scott, I didn't even know it was that many years. We have our show playing through. It was in Shaw. It's now Rogers TV,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were called into a party that they have a yearly party,
Mm-hmm.
and so meeting and greeting everyone. And the director comes up to my wife Jeanette and I, and he
Mm-hmm.
says, "Oh, here we got something to present you." And they gave us a plaque, and it said all those years on it. And I looked down, I looked at Jeanette, my wife, and I said, been that long? Feels
Mm-hmm.
like what, 3, 4 years?
Mm.
You know, a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, very
Yeah.
popular in Australia.
Oh,
Very
really?
popular. Yeah, we got a
Interesting.
message back from there's I guess it was mining diamonds or something like that, way out in the deserts of Australia. They
Yeah.
have these caves. People made homes in the caves there, beautiful homes.
Wow.
And this one couple wrote us or emailed us, and they said we watch your show all the time. Thank you for sharing it with us, and we get to see this all the way in Canada, and this is great, you know. And they complimented the show.
Yeah.
And then we have the other side where this fellow we know is not good. He was sent to prison, and
Mm.
he knows me very well. So when he was in prison, he was walking by the auditorium or where the inmates were, and they're all watching TV.
Mm.
And as he walked by, he heard my voice. He thought, "What?" And he walked in there and goes, "Hey, wait a minute! That I know him." He didn't know I made the show. "I know
Right.
him. I know him." "No, you don't." "Yeah, I know him." So here they're
Wow.
watching it in jail. You know.
Wow. Well, I'm sure that's very inspiring in that environment and
I
helpful.
hope so because there's a lot of people in there. He said,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's a heart inspired
"Heart
series.
inspired." Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's what it
yeah,
sounds like.
yeah. We also did a. I'm sorry, I'm carrying away with the show because
Please do.
we did a show called Born Free. I don't know if you're acquainted with Born Free Foundation. They're right there
Mm-hmm.
in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So You have
Oh,
to
okay.
look it up. You have to look it up.
Right.
Virginia McKenna used to be an actress,
Yes.
and her son Will, they started this program many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
saving wildlife, in particular the lions. And there's a movie they made called Born Free, and it's about
Wow.
a guy saving the lions, her and her husband. And awesome movie. That was
Yeah.
way back then. And so they had the anniversary come up, and I had already painted a picture of a lion,
Mm-hmm.
realist. And so I said, would you folks be interested in us creating a show about Born Free for the anniversary? And they said, "Oh, that'd be wonderful. Could you do that, please, Daniel?" So we created the show about Born Free. Again, you see that on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And so we follow a fictitious like thing of the lions and whatnot. And so I paint the picture, of course, of the lion, and I redo that painting contemporary. At the very end, you'll see the realist picture of the lion. And then we gave that to them, and they auctioned that off to raise funds toward the lions.
Oh, that's incredible.
So yeah, so we really enjoyed that. But yeah, we got a lot of footing in the UK, but
Oh,
uh,
really?
but I haven't been there. Well, I've traveled through there a few times, but
Yes.
there's a lot, none like you. You know,
Yeah.
I stayed there. If I was there, like we did a benefit at the Savoy there,
Yes.
and we did that with all the conservationists. Brian May of Queen,
Oh, wow.
he was there, so I did a painting, and then they all co-signed the painting, and they auctioned that off.
Wow.
And so they're able to use the funds towards saving gorillas and chimpanzees and orangutans, you know.
How incredible. Do you
So that
ever
was,
feel like you're not doing much?
yeah, actually I do. Yeah, not
I
enough.
figure
Never enough.
it's the ones that do a lot feel like they're not doing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
You
good.
enjoy doing it. It's a lot of work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a mantra or a specific quote that you sort of live by?
No, no,
Nothing.
no. I probably because I've been painting so long. Maybe the
Mm-hmm.
mantra I have is enjoy the next step. You
Beautiful.
know.
Yeah, more visual.
Yeah, and
Mm.
a lot of the feelings and thoughts that I have now are the same feelings I had then, are the same feelings that you and your mom have.
Mm.
They're no different, no
Right.
different. Yeah. So I mean, I starting as at a young age and all getting older in that, like I'm in my what 70s now,
Mm.
and I still feel like I'm that little boy laying on the floor.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
started
yeah.
figuring out that step. My dad says that too. He's 65. He goes, I still don't know what I'm doing. I'll doing what I'm doing and then move on to the next thing and move on to the next thing. Or I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
Is that right?
He's been doing the same thing for 40 years, but he
What does
always
he
gets,
do? What does he
he
do?
works in business and
Okay.
building company in energy, solar company right now.
Oh,
It's been the last 20 years, and before that was hair
yeah,
uh, replication. So the sort of different industries, but
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
so he just jokes that as we were growing up, basically saying, "Don't worry about it, because you'll every period of your life you'll go, huh, what now?"
That's about it. And you know the catch is though, and which he knows well, you never retire. He's not going to retire ever, ever.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
That's how you want it. Yeah.
yeah. That's how you want it. Yeah.
Uh,
So we're kept busy, and so I can promise you, you'll always be busy, Sky.
yeah, I've accepted that reality.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing all day, but I'm always busy.
What do you do there? Are you painting there? Or are you?
I'm painting, yes.
Yeah.
I am working with Art Vancouver and
Okay.
event management and production behind the scenes of everything.
Okay.
And then I also teach a few yoga fitness classes here, just because my first year I thought I'm online all day every day and everything's a solo activity. I'd like to have a bit more of a local life here, so I've got an
Yeah.
incredible fitness community. And
Wow.
then this podcast, I have my own podcast.
That's
Yeah.
fun, eh?
It's very entertaining, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you get to meet people all over the world. Like we've met each other now. And the funny thing
Yes.
is, we're both born and raised in Vancouver. Go figure.
Yes, absolutely. Well, through this, yeah, I have had incredible conversations, and every single one I learned something new, and it's such a privilege to spend
Yeah,
an hour with someone that you wouldn't have usually, and
pass by on the street.
exactly get
Yeah,
advice and hear their life story. It's great.
yeah, yeah. It's nice. Yeah. It's kind of funny too because my family is an older family. My great grandfather was a founder of Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
And so we got family all over the interior of British Columbia, and founders of this, founders of that.
Oh,
I didn't even know half of them until my son told me. You know,
oh, really?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
So yeah, maybe I should do a
That's
picture of my great grandfather. I got a picture of him. So
Yeah, I funny. I've just recently, I'm going to actually take a portrait class in the new year because I'm self-taught as well and have felt similar to everything you've said, just drawn to eyes and portraits.
yeah,
And I thought, oh, I'd like to curious to who my ancestors are. I don't know if I'll ever know, but it would be
if you're going
interesting.
to do it, well, you will know as time goes on. A lot of them you will. To find
Mm,
out. It's like ancestry.com, right? You find out things you don't want to know too. But if you're going to do portraits and that, study eyes. Eyes are really difficult. If you go online on YouTube and that, you'll see different programs that teach you how to do the eyes, and they're right. They're correct.
okay.
Learn by them.
Study eyes in terms of skill, technique, emotion,
Both
or everything.
skills, technique,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially technique because you don't want them too far apart or crooked and that, and you want to make sure that they're well aligned with the shape of the head and the nose and the mouth and that. So
Mm,
yeah, just structure it well, and that
thank
also helps keep you away from having your features come out within
you.
that person too.
Well, thank you. That's very helpful. I'm
Yeah,
excited. Yeah.
yeah. And once you catch on to it, you're okay. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you'll fall back sometimes, but you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Those are nice.
yeah.
Any last words of wisdom for not necessarily a young artist, but perhaps an artist in doubt or struggling in any way?
Yeah. Um, don't lose faith in yourself. You're going to struggle. You're going to climb. You're going to fall down. You're going to have
Mm-hmm.
all the ohs and all the I should have. But keep looking ahead, move ahead. And all of a sudden the lights will come on and you'll see a bright horizon just above you. And it's there. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not unattainable. It's there. So, yeah, be good to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Beautifully put.
yeah.
Where can everyone find you or reach out to you, contact you if they'd like to?
Knew you were going to get to that. Uh, I I no longer have a website.
Okay.
No longer have a website. I used to be on LinkedIn. I'm not on there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Social media, not anymore. The only way they're going to get in touch with me is if they get in touch with a television station that they see the show on. I know it
Okay.
sounds very not good, but a television station, or if they get in touch on YouTube, they go on YouTube, see the show, they write a remark on there, and I'll find out who they are. And
Great.
yeah, or through you, I don't know,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
I don't do that much anymore. There's no need to. So
Yeah.
uh,
No, that's great.
I sound like a
I'll
snob, eh? I
No,
sound
not at all. I think it's great not boundaries, but it's a nice lifestyle that you've created for yourself and you can have your space to do what you love.
exactly. I got the freedom, and
Mm-hmm.
not on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And
I,
so yeah, so I'm free of all those
yeah.
restraints, I guess you want to call them. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and
But
tasks
text,
post.
yeah. I do a lot
Yeah.
of I used to do a lot of television interviews and that.
Mm,
Now podcasts, which is great. I enjoy that very much so.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, outside of that, I don't really promote myself on. I don't get into the TVs. shows. Like I've been invited to be on various television episodes and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say no. If you want to have me on the show, put me in the background as my show. When paintings come
Mm-hmm.
alive, put that on. In the
Mm.
background.
Yes, yeah.
And
You do.
there's one Japanese company or movie company. They wanted the painting done, my painting, and they wanted to do a whole movie around what I created. So I created a picture, and they did a movie around that called Floating Away.
Wow.
And so that was kind of cool. That was kind of like it was an honor, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
fun. Yeah,
I like the title too.
Floating Away. Yeah, just like my ego was.
Well deserved. No, you
No,
didn't make it up.
no, no.
Oh, well, Daniel, thank you so much for such a rich and inspiring conversation. It's been so lovely to speak to you and
You too.
hear your words of wisdom. I'm looking forward to studying the eyes.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, study the
Mm.
eyes. Look on
Mhm.
YouTube and see that.
Yes.
Try the tongue depressor. Doesn't sound very good, but it works.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to work, and it does.
Great.
Your mom would like that.
Yeah, I'm sure she
Yeah, yeah,
will. She'll laugh
yeah,
when I tell her.
yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'll share
Well,
the link to at least your YouTube series and people can enjoy it there as well on top
well,
of
you
your.
keep in touch as well, please. I'd
Yes,
like to know what you're
absolutely.
up to, and
Hmm.
you got my email and that. So any
Yeah,
questions you have, let me know.
thank you. Yes,
And yeah, and say hi to your mom and your dad
I will.
and family, and yeah.
Well, if you're in town for Art Vancouver, I am happy. I can send some tickets for you and your family. And you can check out the show.
Oh, this is real good too. Yeah, yeah.